Welcome back to another episode of Swiping Left, a podcast where we talk about crazy dating stories and things like that. And yes, crazy seems to be the theme for today. I'm Suzanne Linfante. I'm your host. And with me today is a chicken named Jeff Brogan. He makes lots of really cool videos with his family on TikTok. You can find him there on Mr. Inspiration. You can follow him on Instagram, just Jeff00. So Jeff the chicken is here to talk about dating apps and what, like, are you chicken to tell these stories because you feel like some people might see them, or are you chicken to be on a dating app? Do you think that only chickens should be on dating apps? What is the chicken about?
Well, I when you asked about this podcast and you want to talk about online dating, I've actually had some stories, and no, I'm not afraid to share them. But I feel like people could take me a little more seriously here if I was put on this chicken suit versus actually looking at me straight in my eyes as I'm telling these stories. So it's just more just I guess in a way it's an inspiration showing people that like not only humans feel this way, chickens feel this way too. And I don't know how they're going to feel about that.
Well, thank you for sharing that message because I think it's an important one to get out there.
Even chickens matter in life too, So
Yeah,
absolutely.
of course. Yeah. So have you used the dating apps? I know you're married now, very happily married, and your wife is lovely.
Yes.
And your little boy is adorable.
Thank you.
Have you, so before, or even like a crazy first date with your wife, tell me one of your crazy dating stories. Have you used the apps?
Yes.
Have you ever swiped left? That's what I want to know.
So I didn't specifically use that swipe app, but my online dating probably took place when AOL and was still hot, and MySpace I think was just coming up. So like that's where really that I started the online dating. I remember, like at that time, I want to say it was. I'll say.
I didn't think chickens lived that long. That's all.
I think it was around like 21, 22 when I started getting around that, maybe a little around that ballpark there. But meeting people at bars was kind of like, it was quite challenging because either they were intoxicated, they tell you one thing one night, and the next day you feel completely different about it. And just, so let me try this online dating and see what happens. And plus that, like in chat rooms and everything, like, to me, it was just so much easier to have a conversation through text than it was through conversations, even though I'm a big talker. But it just worked out for me. So I want to share a couple stories with you today. Okay, so let's take to the first story. So this was through AOL chat. I remember it was if you remember how AOL chat, they had like all these like chat rooms, and so it was right. New Jersey, I think it was.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. So go in there, obviously you're in this room with a whole bunch of people, but got connected with this girl. And so names will be changed to protect the innocent at this point. So her name, let's say Kazam. Her name was Kazam. And so we were, having cool conversations over there, and we decided, you know what, let's meet up. So we scheduled something. I go to the house and I pull up into the driveway. And as soon as I pull up to the driveway, this girl comes walking out. Beautiful, very attractive. Like, I remember seeing pictures, and I'm like, this girl is 10 times better looking in person than she is in her pictures. She comes walking up to my driver's side door, and here I am, like a nervous wreck, because I was not expecting this girl, this good-looking girl to come up to the car. So I rolled down the window, and then she goes, "Oh, are you here for Kazam?" And I go, "Yeah." And so, like, with a shocked look at my face, she goes, "Oh, she's inside. She'll be out in a second."
Oh no.
Yeah. So that was just her sister. We'll call her Jazam. So Jazam went in her car, and she leaves, and then eventually Kazam comes walking out. So when I saw pictures of Kazam, they were always on like the angles, like up here or down here type thing. Not seeing eventually what I was walking into. So definitely, not even remotely close to any of the pictures that I seen. So like I felt like immediately I was being catfished in a way. So you know what? But maybe she has a cool personality. All right, so let's still go through this. All right, so she gets in the car, and I said, okay, I'm not familiar with this area. Where are we gonna go? She goes, well, there's a pool hole about like 15 minutes down the road. Cool. So we were driving to the pool hole, and I'm trying to have a conversation with her, and I'm just not feeling it at all. I'm not feeling it at all. And then I started thinking to myself, how can I have this moment end? Like, what can I do to get out of this moment? Like, I was just that miserable. I even turned up the music in the car so that I didn't have to hear her talk. As messed up as that sounds. So we get to the pool hall, and as we walk, we go up to the front desk and tell the guy we want one pool table. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, $12 or whatever the case may be. And I go to reach for my wallet, and I realized I left my wallet in the car. So I look at her and look at the guy and go, my wallet's in the car. She's like, oh, no. She goes, I can pay for it. I go, no. I was like, please let me go get my wallet. As I walk to the car, I see my wallet, and just thought to myself, this is it, Jeff. This is your opportunity.
You didn't.
I put the keys in the ignition and I drove away.
You left your date in a pool hall.
I did, like about 15, 20 minutes away from her house too. So, but I remember just getting home feeling like bad about it. And then I'm not going to lie, about 10 minutes later, I turned on the video game and started playing that, and all feelings went away at that point. So yeah, I don't feel good about that one.
Well, I understand that she completely lied or misrepresented herself. I mean, that's for sure. So, I mean, I can see that side of it, and I can see, you wanting to run away like Chicken Little. But
I mean, this is all my stories are going to make complete sense while I'm wearing this costume on right now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I see the connection now. Yes.
You see the connection.
Wow. And so you never know what happened. Did she ever message you back through that AOL Messenger or whatever? Did she ever try to reach out to you and call you bad things, or?
What's funny is I was expecting that, but no, about a week later, she actually did privately chat me and just said, hey, just checking in to make sure you're okay. Like, she did not give me any sort of grief or any bad rap about it, but
not an unclassy move, really. I mean, I kind of respect the fact that she didn't lace into you, but maybe she would have if maybe that was just like the bait. And then if you answered, you'd be like, well, what the heck happened?
Well, I was also thinking to myself that, like, this girl had this happen to her every week. She's like, again, it happened, whatever, move on to the next one type thing.
Wow.
She was like completely fine with it. Like, but I kind of cut ties and didn't want to make the situation even worse. And I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't the last time that I pulled some shenanigans like that. So
you have more shenanigans to tell. And okay, well, let's hear another shenanigan then. That's
So I thought that idea was fantastic of how I handled that situation after like thinking about it. And again, you're talking about a guy, typical 21, 22-year-old kid,
fair. Yeah.
Who's in this rock band and thinks that he should have the whole world on his shoulder. Like he's running the place type, so like I wasn't thinking clearly. I was very immature at that age. I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't think about a lot of those feelings. At this age, 40, yeah, it's completely different.
So you were a rock star. You were a rock star, and now it looks like you're a cock star. Sorry, I had to say that. I will probably cut that out, but I had to say it.
Oh, please leave it in there. That is perfect with this costume. Speaking about the costume,
I meant rooster people. I didn't. Rooster.
I'm actually taking this sucker off. It's getting a little hot in here, so if that's okay with you. That is.
I'm sure. Why not? I'll be flashed by a chicken here. I mean.
All right.
Oh, much better. Yes.
Now you guys can see who I am at this point. So
Yeah. So you're looking a little green today, but okay.
So it's better because now I can move around and not have to worry about it. This is fantastic. Suzanne, you didn't realize, like, Jack Skeleton with his wig and headphones on up there, and then you got Reagan Exorcist who's playing VR.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, why not? Yeah, I feel like I'm in virtual reality. First I was talking to a chicken, now I'm talking to a man who's green.
Can you hear me better, or is it still like kind of like sound like? Because now that I don't have two costumes on.
I mean, you still sound like a chicken, but whatever. Okay. So you had other dating stories. So were these people you met online, or people that you were set up with by a friend or something?
This time I think it was through MySpace, and I've met this girl a couple times already. So we've met in person before, I was playing in the band. She would come to the shows. And so like, but we really didn't have too much conversation when we were at the shows. We had more conversations in the cyber world on good old MySpace. So we decided, you know what, let's set it up. Let's go see a movie. And I think at that time one of the Spider-Mans were coming out and I was very excited. And she wanted to see it too. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can pick you up. So feel very excited about this. Like, I know I've seen her before. Like, we had some awesome chats. I'm like, yeah. So I figured we could just go to the movie. She goes, yeah, that's kind of silly that you want to go to a movie on your first date. I go, oh, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't say anything about like dates. It was just like, I thought we talked about this in the chat. You know, I was excited. She goes, no, I am too. But I just think it's really silly that's what you want to do. You just don't want to talk to me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It'll give you something to talk about after the movie. It totally gives you something to talk about. I think a movie is a great idea.
Yeah.
But
so
that's just me.
I mean, I didn't think there was anything bad with it. Like, it's not that I'm trying to prevent you from talking. It's just we both were excited in this chat about this movie. We said we're going to go see this movie together. I said I'm coming down to pick you up and then we'll go to the movie theater. And now all of a sudden you want to make this comment, say, so I took it as a joke. Like, I didn't get serious or anything like that. So we get in my car, again, 21, 22-year-old guy. My car's got some empty bottles, in there. So like before she gets in, I grabbed the empty bottles from like the passenger side and I had this, I always kept a plastic. Remember when we were allowed to have plastic bags in Jersey? Yeah. I had one of those.
The good old days. Yes.
The good old days. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jeez. So I had one of those fancy things and I put them in there and asked her if I could throw it out in her garbage can. And I'm like, and she just kind of looked at me and didn't even give me an answer. So I'm like, I was like, I just figured, I could just throw it in. I see the garbage can. I was like, I can throw it in the back seat. She goes, no, use the garbage cans. I can't believe you would leave them, you would leave them in your back seat. And I'm like, okay. So I go put them in a garbage bag. And so we're driving. And again, you know me, I'm a diehard Spider-Man fan. So like, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about old comic book stuff. And then she just looks at me and she just says, I had no idea that this is the way that you act. And I go, the way that I act? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I didn't think you got this excited about movies. She's like, how old are you? Like, just like the whole time just giving me like these rude comments.
Wow.
And yeah, it was very like, I was very pissed off and upset because of the fact that like I thought this was going to be a really fun thing, cool thing, and it totally did not turn out like that. So here comes past Jeff, the devil on the shoulder. We're walking into the movie theater and the devil on the shoulder says, dude, forget your wallet in your car. Forget your wallet in the car. So I'm just like, okay, we walk into the ticket booth. I say, 2 tickets for Spider-Man, please. And the guy says, oh yeah, total's $15, whatever the case may be. I gotta look for my pocket and my wallet's in there, but I go, oh, I left my wallet in a car, like, just wait right here. I'll be right back. Skew. And I just took off again. That time, I didn't feel bad though. I felt really pissed off driving home. Like, why she make all those comments to me? And why, how could she say that about Spider-Man in my age?
Were you wearing this outfit? I'm just curious.
No, but I think I had green hair at that time. So
well, and that's okay. You're a rock star. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
a wannabe rock star,
whatever. I mean, it's still cool. Who cares? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I guess I don't even know what to say. I'm talking to a green man who has now kind of dined and dashed 2 ladies. So third time's a charm? Is there a third that this might have happened with, or?
Yes. Yes. Last time, don't remember 3-strike rule, but yes, there is.
Does your wife know about all this behavior, or will she when she watches this?
No, she's well aware about it because actually, this
you
last story,
ghosted her too.
No, this last story I'm about to share. She actually approached my wife when we first started dating. Basically what happened was, again, online chatting, everything worked out cool with the chats. Everything's feeling good. So I told her, I was like, oh, you know what? It's like, maybe we could go out on a Friday, Saturday night type thing. And so she goes, absolutely. Like, so this time I was smart because of my last time. I said, maybe we go see a movie. Hey, let's go to dinner and then go see a movie. So we had that chance to talk, so absolutely. So we met, I picked her up and we go to a diner, and the conversation at the diner was awesome. Everything's really cool. You can tell that she's digging the vibe. I'm digging the vibe. Like, so we decide to go see a movie. We see the movie, and then we walk out. We're laughing about the movie. Everything's like, it's going really well. And even like we even kissed in the parking lot. So we get back in the car, and we're driving to her house to drop her off. And I pull up to her front and I put the car in park, and all right, well, here you are. And immediately she started crying, like full on tears, head in the face type thing. I go, like I kind of put the hands up like I'm being arrested. I'm like, whoa. It's like, everything all right? What's going on? Like, she goes, no, everything's great. She goes, I just really had a good time. I go, no, I did too. I was like, absolutely. I was like, so are those happy tears? Like, she goes, you're never going to call me. I go, no, I absolutely will call you. Like, this was an awesome time tonight. Why wouldn't I call you? She looks at me like, seriously. It's funny because you can't even see I'm doing the face expressions underneath here. And I realized it doesn't look like anything to you.
Oh, no, we totally see it, right, people?
So she goes, no, you don't understand. I'm crazy. And so at that time, I think I probably had like blue or yellow hair, and I had my nails painted black. And so like, it was just like, I'm kind of crazy too. So I don't think that's going to be a bad deal. And she looks at me, she goes, no. I'm fucking crazy. That's what she says. So she said it very seriously, like where her eyes dried up, like kind of like Lucifer just came out of hell and just jumped into her body. I'm fucking crazy type thing. Like, I was just like, so I've never felt nervous or scared or fear for some reason. Like, but at that moment, I'm like, is she gonna stab me at some point if I don't call her tomorrow? Like the way her tone was and everything. So we gave each other a hug. I told her I was gonna call her.
And you didn't. I can't say I blame you because that's so sad, because she just expected you not to call her. So you know what I mean? Like, her expectation was that you wouldn't anyway. But then she talked to your wife?
She at that time was working at a Wawa. And when she worked at the Wawa, she tells me that this girl just comes walking in, and she's working at the front counter, and the girl walks in and looks at her and she goes, is your name Katie McNeil? And my wife's like, yeah, that's what the text says there. She goes, do you know a Jeff Brogan? And she goes, yeah, we talked. She didn't know what to say to her. She didn't want to say they were dating. She goes, yeah, we talk. He lives below me. And she goes, you tell him I said hello. And just walked out.
Didn't even say who it was saying hello.
No, she didn't have a name for me. But the way she identified her, I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, my gosh.
Like,
but
your
how
life
creepy
might
is
be
that?
in danger, sweetheart.
No, that's crazy. How did she know her full name? Like, what's that about?
I don't know. So that's the thing.
She's stalking
like social
you?
media. I don't know. She could have possibly been. She knew where I lived. So like I was living in the apartments, but like we lived in the same town. So she could have absolutely, knew where I live at that point. So
that's just creepy.
Yeah. It was very creepy.
Oh my gosh, you have a face.
Yeah.
Wow, you look like a lumberjack now with that.
I do though. With a little green hat on,
So these have been very fun dating stories.
Yeah, they've been good. They've been good. Cool stuff. I love the conversations we've had.
Anyway, we're gonna end it here. My guest today was Jeff Brogan, Mr. Just Jeff 00. Also Mr. Inspiration on TikTok. He does some really great videos, like with his kid, with his family. Like, they're hilarious. So follow him on TikTok, totally. And and he poses really well and looks good in green. What can I say? I don't know. Jeff, thank you so much for being here today.
Suzanne, thank you so much for having me. I really had a good time doing this, and I hope we get more than 10 likes on this video today.
Okay, that's something to shoot for. So if you're out there, please give us 10 likes on the video. I'm Suzanne Linfante. Thanks again for tuning in to Swiping Left. I'm Suzanne Linfante. I'm gonna do that again. But So, but do just a little. Oh, that's going.
Hello?
That's
Are
going
you
to,
there?
that's,
Are we going on the podcast? I want to give you my opinion on online dating. Is that cool? Can you hear? Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Jeff Brogan, everybody.
Yeah.